That sounds like something Neildo would do.
I would never,
Working at O'Reilly's
something
and put
like
an
that.
AutoZone folder on the computer.
I would do that.
Great slider.
I'm Phil.
I'm Nilden.
I'm Raz.
I'm gonna bust his ass.
I'm Brandon.
Slide jobs by the dozen out here.
Hello, this is Thomas.
Here. Pisser.
I'm John.
Sit down the back straightaway for the final time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
This is the Dirty Slider Podcast. Sit down, buckle up, and hang on. It's about to get rough.
Welcome, Dirty Sliders, to the episode 66, brought to you by Jeff Green, has the most starts in the 66 in NASCAR with Haas CNC Racing prior to Stewart Haas. But I don't really care about him. What I like to see is Dick Trickle had 33 starts in the 66. So, it's the beginning of the dirt season. I went and got a pill for it. We're good to go. So, dirt race is just getting started. Everyone's getting tuned up, ready. Some guys are still putting their cars together. High Limit's not starting for another couple weeks, but we have some news going already. So, Mr. Raz, what you got for us?
Lucas Oil late models in Ocala.
Thank you, sir. My hometown. Let's go, Bull Ring.
No real big news. I mean, they had a decent race. Probably the biggest news was Jonathan Davenport just, lap 2, just stepping all over his dick, sliding it in there, nearly flipped his car, just tore it all up. And then the good thing about, the admirable thing is Jonathan Davenport owned it. He said, 100% my fault. Sent it in there a little too hard, bud, and didn't come out the other side. So, I appreciate when a driver does that. Hey, I fucked up, which is basically what he said. Hudson O'Neal won the race, led like the last 20 laps. Not really much of a story there. I mean, yeah, it raced, but, that's about all there
Ricky
is.
Thornton Jr. do?
I don't know. I didn't look at the complete results, but I can pull them up real quick.
Well, I was just trying to see.
Well,
if
he did make the
they got
headlight
their
reel,
shit
so-
together after they went back to base to get squared away.
Lucas Oil late models at Ocala.
Thank you, sir. That track's been dirt, asphalt, dirt, asphalt, dirt, asphalt, dirt. He goes back and forth about every decade.
Solid top 10 for Ricky Thornton. Started 9th, finished 8th. Oh, started 8th, finished 9th.
Oh, so he went backwards one position.
Yeah.
Well, not too bad, though.
No, but that still is a tough start to his season when he's normally in the top 5.
But shout out to Kyle Bronson, started 25th, finished 8th. That's a solid hard charge there.
I've been noticing Dallin Murdy, the old rookie, running around. He's been hanging out, making some shows. I think he set quick time one of the nights, didn't he?
I did not sit in front of a television and watch this. I have yet to renew my Flow subscription after
After you're
got canceled?
freeloading.
after being gifted several years of.
You had a good run there, bud.
I
A
did.
good run. I mean, you had what, 5 years of Flow for
but
free?
I mean, the season's about to heat up, so I'll sign up for it again. I found a code to get extra 15% off, so that takes it to, a little over $100 for the year.
That's not bad.
Can't beat that with a stick with all the racing you get to watch.
Yeah, no, I think FloRacing is the best thing going as far as a bargain, and they're not a sponsor, so.
They could do better on their quality, but
Outlaws
they're
Revolution.
covering a mess of races across a mess of different sports. So,
Outlaws are in Volusia, Brandon. Tell us about it.
Well, one guy that's been hanging out in the top 3, that's David Gravel. He runs second last night. and he ran third tonight. One name that stuck out to me in this little shot down there in Volusia was Ashton Torgerson. Ashton Torgerson. Let me try that again.
Have another one.
Yeah, no shit. Ashton ran 7th last night, and then tonight he ran 2nd to Anthony Macri. So he's come across some hurdles there in his young career,
Including flying out the top of a cage.
including flying out the top of the cage. And I seen he did some monster truck driving, and then he ended up back at the Chili Bowl. And
Well, I mean, his dad's one of the biggest monster truck promoters in the country, so that's not hard for him to get in a monster truck. But I begrudgingly am starting to admit that the kid's got some talent. He's in top-notch equipment, for sure.
right, yeah, just to take some time off, like he had to, not necessarily by choice, but to come out and run 2nd tonight to Anthony Macri in the World of Outlaws at Volusia. David Gravel, like I said, finished 3rd. Carson Macedo was 4th. And Darren Pittman rounding out the top 5. I'm a good Darren Pittman fan, so there's that.
Yeah, and there's rumor that Sunshine's about to start getting back in a car after recovering from his injuries, so we should be seeing him soon. High Limit's about to start up, not this week, but a week from Thursday.
13th, I think it is.
A week from Thursday in Vegas. One of the highlights
13th
for
and
me.
15th.
One of the highlights for me leading up to the High Limit season opening up is some genius marketing with Rico Abreu and Tony Stewart Racing. It's the little short videos that they've been putting on, and the fake
Short, huh?
the fake leaked videos and press statements going, we're going to find out to get to the bottom of who leaked that early and all that. It's been kind of entertaining. So I think marketing is market. I think they're doing a great job on it. The one where Rico's flipping the light switch on and off and showing the paint job, I thought was pretty cool. Sharp looking car.
I'm just glad somebody's going to be running Vegas because I like Vegas. I like going to Vegas. Obviously, I'm more of a duel in the desert and Vegas kind of guy, but sprint cars obviously get around pretty quick. Wing sprint cars to me, though, is mostly choo-choos. And yeah.
No, I've become a traditionalist with sprint cars. I want them with no wing on them.
I just think it puts on a better show. Wingless. Hammer down.
Yeah, there's one of the little clips of Rico. 0 leaks, months of hard work. Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a sharp looking car with it. Is it Advanced or CarQuest? It's Advanced, isn't it?
Yeah.
And running Rico's traditional number, the 24. So I think they're going to do
Well,
well.
I'm wondering, do they need to because of his
High limit charter.
Yeah, charter. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Yeah, and they're doing everything they can to not call it a charter, but it's going to be called that. I guess let's just go ahead and jump off the dirt because there's quite a bit to talk about. The Joe Gibbs Racing, Chris Gabehart, Spire Motorsports lawsuit has got a little spicy. Gabehart
came jabs.
Gabehart came out and released his response to Joe Gibbs. And I know we said last week that it didn't look good, but that was Joe Gibbs' version. And then when Gabehart came out with his version, like, okay, that kind of makes sense too. He said that, yes, he saved files on his work laptop, but he never shared them. Okay, if he never shared them, he didn't do anything wrong. The file folder marked Spire was a little sus, but again, he said they had forensic experts look at his laptop and his phone, and there was never any evidence of it sharing to anybody. And that was Gibbs's forensic experts who said that. I don't know how you could tell if someone shared a file, but obviously, I guess, there's metadata or something that would say that. Yes. I'm not enough of a computer expert to be able to say But they had the hearing today, actually, where Joe Gibbs was trying to get a restraining order against Gabehart to basically not have a job for 18 months. He couldn't perform his duties at Spire because they were too close to what he was doing at Gibbs, and he's shared secrets and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the ruling is no, he can do what he's doing at Spire. It's enough of a different position, and basically you can't, tell somebody they can't work. I thought it was a telling response when they were asking Kyle Busch what he thought of these things. And
Not surprised.
that's exactly what he said. He said, "I'm not surprised." And they asked him in which direction, and he says, "I bet you could figure it out." So he's still a little salty at Gibbs, and I think he pulled the curtain back a little bit.
Oh, for sure. One of the things I was listening to was Spire's co-owner. I can't remember their names. But he was talking about, we have a NASCAR team, but we also have, I think they have 8 other teams.
Yeah, they've got
sports.
an IndyCar team. They've got a high limit team. It's Jeff Dickerson is probably who you were listening to.
Very well could have been.
He's the main dude over there. But yeah, they have a ton of teams. They have truck teams.
He's in charge of all of these. He's not in charge of just NASCAR. He's in charge of all of our teams. So
and
is he doing something he was doing? Gibbs? Yeah, he's overseeing a team, but he's overseeing all of them now. So, I mean, his setup is what it is.
And Joe Gibbs Racing basically pushed him out the door. It came down, in my opinion, it came down to a spat between him, Chris Gabehart, and Ty Gibbs. It's some of the dirt that came out is Ty Gibbs doesn't show up at the competition meetings and, basically feels like he doesn't have to do the same things that the other drivers do.
He's the golden child?
Hey, Grandpa owns the team. And, it was his father, Coy, that was running the team before. I don't know who it falls on now, but it's obviously Ty swings a big old hammer over there in that building.
Or it's a little one. He's just got Grandpa behind him.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Grandpa listens to what he says. And I think if you're truly trying to make a living as a race car driver, even if it is Grandpa's team, you need to do everything you can. You need to do everything you can to make your team better, make yourself better, and that includes those Monday morning or Tuesday morning competition meetings. I don't care how much you want to sleep in. Get your ass down there.
Yeah, I mean, you see his showings, though.
He's a mid-pack guy. He ran up front. He ran up front quite a bit at COTA. But
we know it's not the equipment. The equipment is just fine to run in front. I mean, he's in arguably the best equipment, and that's why one of those Gabehart was sick of it. He's like, "No, I am not a crew chief anymore. I am here to be the competition director for all the teams. No, I need you there. I need you there taking care of my grandson," or whatever the verbiage was. He was forced to be a crew chief they paid him. I think I heard something like $50,000 a race or some shit. So he was getting paid for it, but just because you get paid doesn't mean you want to do it.
Right. Yeah, there's a reason I quit doing that. He was Denny Hamlin's crew chief for a long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a bunch of dirt about it. I tend to believe more Gabehart's side than Joe Gibbs Racing side.
I mean, like I've always said, there's 3 sides to the story. That guy's side, the truth. You're getting a little bit of the truth from both sides, but you're not going to get the full truth from either side. But as you stated, having a Spire folder on your work laptop is quite a bit suspicious. I mean, yeah, it might have been a decoy saying, "Yeah, I'm leaving. Here, let me throw this on here to kind of, stir the pot a little bit on my way out the door." Who knows?
That sounds like something Neildo would do.
I would never,
working at O'Reilly's and put
like
an AutoZone folder on the computer.
I would do that. And then have a subfolder that said setup, with a subfolder that said card number, that with a subfolder that said gotcha.
Yeah.
With a subfolder that said settings. With a subfolder that said
a million fucking little pathways to nowhere.
With a subsetting.
How deep of a rabbit hole are you trying to go down?
Subfolder, you're still here? And then after like 20 of those, I'd have the actual setup sheets.
You're almost there.
So NASCAR ran COTA this weekend, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas.
Connor Zilisch, my friends, was a fast kid. He never got the credit for it, but old boy was quick.
Yeah, and Shane van Gisbergen stunk up the O'Reilly show. He ran away with that race.
What, you mean passing on the outside, 3 cars in one corner?
Yeah, or when he dove in on turn 1 in the inside car on 5 wide and drove away.
It's like, see you, boys.
Well, let me tell you something, fellas. That guy could drive a road course. He hasn't quite figured out the oval just yet, but the road courses, he's got that some bitch dialed in.
He is getting better and better and better.
And our homeboy Sheldon Creed ran pretty decent for a little while, and I don't know if he had a mechanical problem or a pit problem, but he fell like a stone.
Oh, and the trucks ran on the street at St. Pete.
That was a fun
Indy.
That was a fun course to watch. That thing was pretty wild.
I'd like to see the Cup there on the same exact course.
The Cup race was mostly fun to watch until it wasn't. Towards the end of that race, it was pretty clear that Tyler Reddick had him covered. Even Shane van Gisbergen got on the radio and says, "Sorry, boys, just ain't got it."
And if he says that, you're hauling the mail.
Yeah,
they had some extra hearse purses in that car than anybody else.
That thing built some steam going down that front stretch,
dude.
Well, what was impressive to me is right before they did those second cautions or the second pit stop, and his crew chief said, "I need you to get me a little bit more, get a little separation before we come to pit road." And he drove the fuck away from the 12 car. And I was like, God damn. Yeah.
It's like, it reminds me of Jeff Gordon in the T-Rex car. He could have sat there right in front of him and toyed with him all night, but he just stunk up the show and put yards on him without trying.
When SVG got to his back bumper, I thought for sure he was going to get around him. And then once you got to the straightaway, it was like, Reddick was like, "All right, fellas, time to fucking put these afterburners on."
Yeah, and I don't know if he just had that much more horsepower or he was just getting off of turn 20 that much better. Because that'll make you look like you got 20 more horsepower.
Oh, I mean, it seemed like his car stayed underneath him more than some of those other guys that were kind of getting, slip and slide. His car was goddamn put together.
And if I had to guess, I would say it's probably a horsepower advantage. Because
for 3 weeks in a row,
that thing handled pretty well down the straight. And tip of the cap to him, he did something that's never been done.
Yeah,
won the first 3 races. He's in.
I don't give him much for Daytona because Daytona's Daytona.
Yeah, well, he kind of lucked into that one. They wrecked in front of him.
That was a Chase Elliott
he played his cards right.
race right there.
Yeah, but Atlanta and then COTA, he earned those.
So
he was there at the right time.
That opens up the can of worms that's kind of whistling around the internet right now. That it was a setup. This
part of the lawsuit agreement or what?
Part of the lawsuit agreement.
I guarantee it's not on paper.
Yeah.
I guarantee that's not it.
I'm going to shoot a hole in it because here's the thing. Let's say this conversation took place. Okay, we're going to settle this lawsuit, but you're going to let us win the first 3 races of the season. If that were the case, it would have been Bubba Wallace. It's not going to be Tyler Reddick.
Oh, and my thing is you got to get everybody else that has a paid charter on board to let you win these 3 races.
Well, no, historically what NASCAR does is they don't let everybody in on the secret, but what they'll do is they'll tell, and I know this conversation took place because this has been talked about, the 1976 Daytona 500, they told Richard Petty, "Hey, we might not be looking at this particular area of your car next week." Because they knew Reagan was going to be there flying in for the race, 4th of July, 200th anniversary of the country.
It'd be good for the sport.
It'd be good for the sport. So the
king win in front.
Rumor was he had a few extra cubic inches. But they, that's how NASCAR historically does that. I don't think that's the case because, like I said, if it was going to be a setup, it'd be Bubba Wallace because that's what 2311 would want.
Or did they both get the setup and Well,
Well, you see what happens when you qualify on the pole and you got that clean air. That kind of helps you out. I
Well,
noticed some of those guys swap positions from, the back of the field to the front by, pit strategy or what have you. And some of them were able to stay up there. Once they swapped, from the back to the front, they were able to maintain, Michael McDowell and those guys hanging out, staying up front. Whereas some of the guys that got swapped to the back, they just never could move forward after that.
But let's not forget, at the end of last year when they were deep in the middle of that lawsuit with NASCAR, 2311 was starting to show something.
mm-hmm.
So, they've got some stuff figured out.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's a field filler next week, we can go back and revisit.
They're running, Phoenix is coming up this week?
Yeah,
With,
Phoenix is this
Indy.
week.
Yeah.
So they did Indian trucks at St. Pete this week. Next weekend is going to be Indy with O'Reilly, whatever it is,
And Cup.
on Saturday, and then Cup on Sunday. So I wanted to go to the race. It's just bad timing as far as business and the year and schedules and kids and
And
all that. 'Cause 8 hours of fuel in an RV is not cheap. And then 8 hours back. And then those two, you combine them and it almost equals the alcohol bill.
Well, what about 4.5? What about 5 hours up to Vegas for some high limit?
Well, it's a thought.
What you do is you bring somebody with you and have them split the fuel bill.
Yeah.
How much would it cost us, Neil? Then?
Uh,
What about the first
hours.
race in a pure stock at Barona?
Oh, crap. That's the same night as my party.
Well, I know you're gonna have to cancel the party plans, man. We're going racing, goddammit.
Yeah. I might be late.
Breaking news, folks. Neil's party has been postponed.
Have you not been cleared to get back in the car yet, Brent?
I have not been cleared to get back in the car yet. No.
So there might be a renter ride.
It's a shame for a perfectly good race car to sit at the shop.
She gonna be a hoe this year.
Mama, I'm getting a mistress.
So the other news from Sunday at COTA was Alex Bowman was not feeling good in the car
Speaking of renter rides,
and eventually pulled in, and they swapped drivers with Mike Snyder. There's a name that you haven't heard lately as a driver. And he was actually working for Fox as a pit spotter for Jamie Little. By the way, Jamie Little's from Escondido, if anybody didn't know. So I don't know what a pit spotter for a reporter does. Maybe he just runs up and down those pit road and
so
talks.
I had to do research on it to find out. So he's Jamie Little's bitch, but helps keep her in her tracks on who's doing what. So he's a second set of eyes and second set of ears for her.
So he's talking to crew chiefs and stuff like that.
Exactly. He's making sure she stays in her section of pit road. Because each one of them have basically, you get the first 10, you get the second 10, you get the third 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your responsibility. So he's on the radios, he's on the crew chiefs, getting things lined up for the comments.
Yeah, and
He's a PA.
yeah, good on him. I'd do it.
He did what we all say to do. Bring your helmet and your race suit to the racetrack.
Yeah.
If you ain't got it, you ain't getting in a car.
Well,
I don't know
my
how
thing
to-
is that conversation is when you're spotting this lady that somebody from the team walks over and says, "Hey,
Literally.
you want to run the last 20 laps in the 48 car?"
Literally, it was, oh, shit, you're over here. Hey, do you have your gear? Yes. Hey, NASCAR, can we get him approved for a road course? And
Will he fit in the seat?
Well, he's run Cup, so he should have already been approved.
now they said they had to get him approved for a road course.
Really?
So I think he'd run Cup road course. And then I can't
And then there
remember
was
who it was.
a text conversation with him and somebody else, we don't know who, where he was asking about braking points going into the S's about 2 minutes before he got in the car.
Don't worry, bud. Just bring it around to the finish.
Send her
You'll be all
by.
right.
It's not your bill to worry about. Send it.
It doesn't say your name on that roof. You ain't got to worry about it. Send it.
If nothing
Make it
else, we're going to
exciting,
sponsor
hell.
some more airtime. If you
I don't know
can't
what kind of
win,
lap
wad
times
it
he
up.
was running, but obviously he was 5 laps down or whatever by the time he hit the track. But I don't know what kind of
Well,
lap
he had to
times
get in
was
the car.
running.
They had to belt him in, and then NASCAR had to approve the safety setup for him in that car.
Yeah, and the NASCAR official was Busch Grand National, because that's what it was when he was
Champion,
driving.
yeah.
David Green.
That's it.
Yeah,
That was stuck in my head, but that was
Yeah.
Jeff Green I was thinking.
he was standing there watching him get bolted in and make sure
Mhm.
everything was right. So it's kind of cool.
I wonder how much you got paid.
How much Mike Snyder got paid?
Uh-huh.
I bet you not a dime.
I wouldn't even ask for a dime if you're going to let me run the last 20 laps. Fuck it.
Hey, I'm not going to ask a dime either, but it wouldn't hurt. I mean, is Fox going to give me my full check? I only did 3/4 of the work.
Well, I'm sure they did, because that's good social media exposure for Fox. So yeah, they probably went ahead and paid him.
And I think all of us have given the chance to get in any race car I can fit. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's Alex Bowman's a pretty tall dude as far as Cup drivers go. So,
Mhm.
and I couldn't tell height wise how he compared with Mike Snyder, but Mike Snyder looked like that fire suit fit him a little special.
Yeah, well. We all have a touch of the tism.
That's the old Eric Evans at practice on Saturday. He was going to get in one of the sport mods, and he had his, fire retardant underwear on, and he was getting everything together. He went to get in the fire suit, went to pull that fucker up, and he's like, "Oh, the wrong suit." He couldn't even fit it, motherfucker. I had to take it back off.
That one from 2 seasons ago.
I guess I'll watch today.
I mean, I'm 6'2", the better part of 270 pounds. If they'd asked me to get in Alex Bowman's car, yep, I can fit in that seat. Watch.
I'll make it happen. Watch. Yeah, I may be sitting on the gunnels, but I'm going to get in there.
Hold on, let me suck it in real quick.
I mean, they're going, oh, you're free.
All right, put the belts on. Hurry up.
Somebody throw a foot on me.
AJ Allmendinger's cool shirt quit, and then his helmet fan quit.
Larson.
Larson's
no,
too.
Allmendinger too.
Yeah.
Larson's too.
Oh, Dinger's did too. I heard Larson.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the Dinger.
Larson's cool shirt quit, but Allmendinger's cool shirt and his helmet blower quit. And when he got out of that car, he went straight to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Give me
he,
fluids.
They hauled him off on a stretcher.
Go and put me on a stretcher. Take me over to the
I was
infield
kind
care
of
center.
surprised with as quick as NASCAR kind of just glossed over that deal.
Well, that wouldn't have been NASCAR. That was Fox. But yeah, they showed him for like a 1/10 of a second laying on the ground with his helmet still on and everything. And then, hey, how about Tyler
That could be
Reddick?
a body. That could be a body at this point.
But yeah, I guess 20 minutes after the race, he was fine. Just dehydrated.
Well, it's got to
Did
be a
you guys
hot,
catch,
miserable fucking ride there, bud.
Oh, yeah, because the new car has no airflow through the cabin. The old one didn't have crap, and this one has less.
Well, that opening in the windshield of the new car is supposed to be to provide air to the driver.
It's just going through the cabin
No, it has a
just to
hose.
get some in.
It has a hose coming. There's a hole in the windshield and has a duct. There's a hose coming.
Maybe it changed since last time I looked at it. I gotta
Either
give
way it
credit.
goes, it's not cooling you down that much.
No,
and
no.
it's probably
You're in a race
130
car.
130, 140 degrees inside that car, I bet you.
Yeah. And y'all catch Michael Jordan's comments to Jamie after the race?
Mm-mm.
Hey, they put this bitch together. I just gave them the money.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
I'm just the money man. I don't know nothing.
he was giving Denny Hamlin a lot of flowers. He said, Denny
He gave a
put
lot of props around the team.
Denny put all these pieces in place. I just paid for it.
Yeah. Which is, speaking of Michael. I mean, okay, sorry, Mr. Jordan, because I don't know him well enough to call him Michael. Maybe one day. But for him to go, hey, it wasn't me. It was this guy. It was that guy. It was that guy. The other ones that did is I just financed it. And by the
Well,
way,
and-
I wear a size 17 ring or whatever it was.
That's kind of bullshit because Michael Jordan knows a thing or two about racing. He's always been a NASCAR fan. I'm sure he has some input.
Well, I'm sure he does financially, but also attitude-wise. Because you can have all the right pieces, but if you don't have the right attitude, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think we've all been part of groups and organizations and teams that had all the right stuff, but didn't mesh. If you don't mesh, you're junk.
He brings a winner's mentality, a championship mentality, because that is who that man is. All due respect to you, LeBron James nut swingers, Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Always will be. I don't like LeBron. He's too cocky.
How many Harley J. Earl trophies does LeBron have?
None.
Let's see. Larson struggled with the heat. Who else?
He's had a rough start of the year.
I mean, he got moving pretty good when he got up there hustling around with Christopher Bell playing grab ass there. Well, Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell played a little better grab ass there, though, for a little bit. Or no, that was the 33 car. Who's the 33 car? Busch's teammate?
Jesse Love.
When they were playing grab ass, and then Kyle Busch
Kyle Busch dumped him.
He didn't dump him. He just pushed him out of the way. Yeah. He pulled off, but he got around those other 4 cars that were in front of him, got out of the area before there was any retaliation.
And he said on the radio, he said that's been coming for 5 laps.
Well, yeah, because he was on him, and then the 33 threw some nasty blocks on him coming down the straightaway up to turn 1. It was like, dude, that's your teammate, 1. And 2, are you running a full season? Or are you just partial timing here? Or what's the deal?
Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. Michael McDowell and Zane Smith are in front of Larson. Rough.
I'm the Tony Stewart mentality about if you block me enough, expect to get dumped. It's just.
Well, that's the way I looked at it, because I was watching that battle, because that whole battle had a cluster of cars anyways. There's like 5 or 6 cars right there. And Kyle was just trying to do everything he could to get around his supposed teammate, the 33. And when he went down the straightaway and he swung to the inside and that 33 chopped him down real quick, I was like, oh, shit. And that's when the radio took off with the old Kyle Busch. This motherfucker.
Well, and he drove like a son of a bitch after that, because a pissed off Kyle Busch is an excellent race car driver.
Oh yeah, like I said, he picked up the next 4 or 5 cars that were in front of him. He separated himself from the problem relatively quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta hand it to Kyle Busch. He showed some performance in this race that he has not been showing lately. Really, since he got in the Childress car, he's not shown a whole lot. And I think you have to say it's equipment. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well, considering he was hanging out, 20th or so for the first stage, at least, he was back there mired in the traffic. Finally got himself up into the top 10. Brad Keselowski kind of surprised me too, because he was way back there for a good bit. He finally started to move forward.
Yeah, he's still got a pretty good hitch in his giddy up too.
Well, they had a standby driver for him too.
Yeah, they had Joey Hand standing by. I think Joey Hand pretty much knew what the score was going to be, because he was sitting on top of the pit box in his shorts.
Yeah, no sense of getting all my hopes up.
Well, for the most part, a driver is going to go, I don't know. I'm starting to not feel good.
Well, what about the 48 teams? The 48 teams like, hey, Ford driver, come jump in this thing.
Well, and Joey Hand is pretty much the road course coach for Keselowski, Roush, Fenway, whichever direction they those in. RFK, I guess. And some other Ford teams. So, yeah, he's not somebody that Chevy would be all that excited about getting in their car.
No, I was just making it funny, but I mean, I wonder what it would have came down to if they didn't have that pit spotter available to jump in that thing. Who would they have, You're gonna pull the
I'm sure there's more
Talladega
people
Nights
available.
and Jackman jump in this thing.
Well, there's this guy named Dale Earnhardt Jr. that was there.
But does he
Oh,
travel
no.
with gear?
No,
Probably not these days.
Yeah.
but the fans would have went crazy for
Oh,
that.
they'd have
Oh,
went
go on.
nuts.
I mean, Jimmy was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, running his Toyota team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's always going to be a Chevy guy to me.
He can team up with Chad Knaus one more time.
I don't see that happening.
I think Toyota might say Ixnay on that one, though.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Well, like I said,
So-
the 88 car, Connor Zilisch, was fast. I don't think he got the credit he deserved for as fast as he was, even though he couldn't make it through turn one after a restart for shit. Both of those restarts going into turn one, he got dumped, essentially went to the back, but he drove his ass right back to the, top handful.
No, Connor's a very talented road course driver, and I think he's your next Kyle Larson or your next Kyle Busch. He's gonna be the guy.
I heard that was Kevin Harvick talking about how he got him on track to getting into NASCAR. During the race, they were talking about it.
No, I missed that. I was doing exhaust gaskets.
He was a kart racer or something. They all kind of grew up in the same area, and Harvick kind of,
Pushed him
go
along.
this direction to get to NASCAR.
Speaking of Harvick and his son, who do we think is going to be the better of the three kids? Owen, Keelan, or Brexton?
You have to say Keelan right now. I think
He's the most advanced right now as far as what level he's at, for sure.
who's the oldest of those three kids? Is it Owen or is it Keelan?
I think Keelan. I'd have
I
to
think
research.
Keelan's.
But it's only by a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're all in that same, within, I think, about 5 years of each other.
Oh yeah, they're going to be all three of those kids are going to be in Cup at the same time
For sure.
And they're going to be nuisances to everybody else.
Well, we already know that Kevin will dump Keelan in a race. And I commend Kevin for it 100%.
Well-
Get it, son. Or daddy, whichever way you want.
You're not beating me, kid. You're going to have to wait a few more years for that.
I'm here to win, too.
There's that famous quote where Dale Jr.'s first year in Cup, they went over to Japan to do the exhibition race, and he went to pass Dale Sr. and roughed him up a little bit as he went by. And the next lap, Dale Sr. got up underneath the back of Junior's car and carried the rear wheels the whole way down the straightaway.
You think you're going to rough me?
And Junior said, "That's the day I met the Intimidator."
Yeah. I didn't know him before. I knew Dad.
Yeah, I knew Dad. But the Intimidator, he's a whole nother fellow, that guy.
That guy's a little intimidating for sure.
He wasn't trying to wreck nobody. He was just trying to let you know he's there.
No, he didn't wreck him, but he could have.
What do you guys think about Carson and called the next Intimidator? It's early for sure.
It's way early in his career. I think it's somewhat disrespectful, but he has the same "I don't give a shit what my competitors think about me. I'm here to beat them" attitude that Dale Sr. had. I'm not here to make friends. I brought all my friends with me.
Yeah.
And he's talented. So it's a premature, but I understand the comparison.
I'll give the commentator some credit too during the race because somebody's spotter didn't inform them that the 77 was to his left side, and when they came out of turn one, he kind of just hung a left right into Carson. See you, bud. Carson kept going, and then the commentator was like, "That wasn't Carson's fault this time." This time, keyword.
It normally is, boy.
This
And
time it's
especially
not
'cause-
his fault.
I think he gets the opportunity that very few people get, and that he gets to build his own drama however he sees fit, whether to the good or the bad, because he's locked in And all we know is a long contract, and I've heard rumors of for a decade. So we're not talking a 3-4 year contract. We're talking a long contract with Spire, who has deep pockets and is committed to being in the sport. So, friend or foe, he doesn't have to worry about being axed for lack of performance or wadding shit up or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, a lot of the pressure on the drivers has, he doesn't have. Friendly with some folks quickly, so when you start getting to these super speedways, you got some people to work with you instead of leaving you high and dry.
Okay, but if you take it back to the Dale Earnhardt Sr. Comparison, Sr. didn't make friends. Racers respected him and feared him a little bit. And he didn't have to make friends. They knew, hey, this guy's fast. I better go with him if I want any chance. And they also knew to leave him the fuck alone because the juice wasn't worth the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And which one did I just describe now? Dale Earnhardt Sr. or Carson Hocevar?
Well, Dale Sr., because I don't think Carson Hocevar showed me enough that he's consistently fast everywhere he goes to be in that position.
He had very little problem finding drafting partners at Daytona. And they know your spotter will tell you, hey, it's a 77, be careful.
Mm-hmm. So whether it's caution because you think he's a dart without feathers, which we know he's not. I mean, we've all raced with darts without feathers. Everything he does is on purpose. Maybe goes a little too deep every now and then and, gets into you and moves you. Maybe goes for a hole that closed up before you thought it was gonna, like Daytona. But he's going to go for it.
Like I said, by default, I like the guy because of his number, one. And then, obviously, my son's favorite restaurant's Chili's, so this whole race on Sunday.
There's two.
I was listening to the Chili's car, the 77, bro, the 77.
Ride the Dente.
So, yeah, I'm defaulting to having to like the guy, but I don't think he's, he's come a long way with Spire from being in the back to being able to produce some speed near the front.
I think this season is going to be make or break for him. He's either going to rise and shine or he's going to piss enough people off where the people are going to start stuffing him in the fence.
Well, that'll also make for excitement, too, because then he'll start retaliating, kind of like going down a lap or something with Matt Kenseth at Martinsville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is if you let that spiral into a complete habit where all you're doing is out there riding for revenge, well, 10-year contract, you're not going to be there for the whole thing.
Valid statement.
I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of performance clause, I'm sure. But I think he doesn't have the pressure that most have.
I think he had to start calming down just a little bit. He's like I said a couple podcasts ago, he's just getting his footing with a car that he could actually be up there running with those guys. Eventually he'll be much less.
Well, the thing I noticed at COTA was he didn't try to get more than he had. He's not a road course racer. That's clear. He had a pretty fast car, and he could have forced his way up there and really done some damage, and didn't. He just was pretty patient with it and pretty much ran where it ran. So I got to tip the hat for that.
The 19 car on the starts,
I just don't want to lose.
Wide and 3 wide on the starts every time. The 19.
Chase Briscoe pretty much had those starts nailed. And then he broke a half shaft. Formerly known as an axle when they didn't run transaxles.
Well,
it was.
That's kind of crazy, too, because he was running right there to top 3, and then all of a sudden it was like, what the hell's going on here with the 19 car?
I watched a replay today of his in-car when that thing snapped, and he goes for the throttle, all of a sudden it was, wah, and you can see it wiggling all over the place. I'm like, yep, that's what happened right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a loaf brewed up there.
What happened there?
I mean, when you're in the front 10 cars, something goes amiss and you got a line of traffic behind you. It's kind of, woo, pucker up.
Yeah, and then the last thing I'll say about that COTA race is that it appears that Fox has tightened up their coverage, and I think you can credit Amazon for that. Amazon came out there, or no, was it Amazon or was it Prime?
Yeah, Amazon Prime. Well, Amazon Prime.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So the race coverage they had last year, where by all accounts they did an excellent job. It was amazing coverage. I think has forced Fox to step up their game. They've gotten away from some of those goofy comic book graphics that they were in love with for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They're seem to be tightening up on their camera angles a little bit and showing some. And by tightening up, I mean cleaning up, because they're not in that super tight in on the car camera shot that they were in love with for so long. They're actually zooming out a little bit and catching some of the racing. And so I think, all the broadcast partners have had to step up their game a little bit because of what Amazon.
We need to get back to these turn it ups for a couple of laps and let these things sing on my surround sound.
Well, I mean, we've all heard these new cars in person. They sound like crap.
Well, because they're individual headers.
Right.
So we don't have the combined noise anymore.
You don't have the boom tubes.
Well, but you still hear the hill guy running out back, and his car's definitely a couple cylinders off beat from everybody else's. Nothing used to be more funny than going to a cup race, and you know how when they're coming around on pace laps, the field's split into two with two pace cars going, and then you got the guy that's struggling to keep up with pace laps. And that thing's boom, boom. It's like, Jesus Christ. You're out there to start and park. You'll be lapped in about 5 laps.
You'll pull in before you get in the way.
Yeah.
Well, and the home track Barona is about to start back up again. Our little brother Shane was out for some practice laps. Sharp looking new car. Purple wrap is pretty awesome.
Looks better in person.
It's a brand new chassis, and looks like it's pretty fast. He was fast when he got out on the track the first time, and every time after that he was faster.
Yes, he definitely was. And that second or third time on the track, was it? When he was pretty much getting around there almost wide open the entire track, and that dude was moving for sure. Sketchy when he was coming up to some slower cars. I was like, God damn, Shane, don't wad this thing up. Because he was closing in a hurry.
And then there's a rumor that Neilton might be making a guest appearance in somebody's race car. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're going to try. We'll see what happens.
Negotiations are underway. You heard it here first.
The old passer around is coming around. Get your
I haven't had my
shot
turn
first.
And like I said, there's a gift headed your way. Went out today. So whatever time it takes to get from my house to your house on UPS, we'll find out.
Well, damn. Outstanding.
Well, if you guys don't have anything else, and half our crew decided to take a night off, we can bring this to a close. Stay tuned to our social medias. We are possibly going to attempt to do a live stream where you're going to get our reactions live to some sort of race. It may be a cup race, it may be a dirt race, we don't know. We're still trying to work out the logistics for that, but we'll announce it a day or two in advance on social media. You can just hear us basically talk shit about everybody that's way better than us, but we've got an opinion about them anyway.
Yeah, we all got opinions.
Why not?
So those socials are on Facebook, we're Dirty Sliders. On Instagram, dirty.sliders. Twitter /X. When's Elon going to change that back to Twitter? At Dirty Sliders. And then patreon.com/Dirty Sliders podcast. You can see our merch on there. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. We'd appreciate all the support we get. Like, comment, subscribe. We need some algorithm help, and that will do it. We do appreciate everybody's support so far, and we definitely want to keep this going. We're still having fun doing it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Comment. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about. Hell, if you want to come on the show, let us know. We'll get you on here.
All right. With that, good night, everybody.
Good
Night,
night,
gentlemen.
everybody.
Miss y'all.